2019's over. Let's talk about some of the surprises from this past season. What is up, Fin fans? So, you guys asked for this video first. I'm going to talk about the 5 surprise players from the 2019 season. I got one honorable mention because it was very hard for me to pick 5. You guys might even think of a few that I forgot of or didn't think of that are surprises. But real quick, I got about 2 things I want to talk about before we get into it. Actually 3, because what do you guys think of that new little intro, that quick little intro? I was thinking of doing that for the off season, just something quick so that when the season comes, I can give you guys my highlights in between. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Also, Dante, shout out to you. Pop his picture up. He got one of the hoodies. If you guys want to grab some of the merch linked below, be sure to grab yourself some and send me a picture. If you guys get some of the merch, send me a picture. I would love to shout you guys out and show everyone the support that you're giving. And one final thing before we get into the surprise of the 2019 season. Roadrunner, if you guys remember, sent me this calendar. And on this calendar, some days it has facts, some days it has trivia. Well, for today, while I'm recording this Tuesday night, so I have trivia for Tuesday. You're watching this on Wednesday. Wednesday I don't think is trivia. Wednesday is a fact. But I want to do trivia. So let's do trivia. Again, I'm recording this Tuesday. Here's the trivia. Who was the leading rusher for the Miami Dolphins in the 2017 season? Comment it below. And I'll let you know if you got it right in that. Who was the leading rusher? Don't look it up, though. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Just right now, off the top of your head, comment it below. Who was the leading rusher for the Miami Dolphins in the 2017 season? Comment it below. You'll be surprised who it is. But let's jump into the surprise players of the 2019 season, and then comment of the day when you guys sent me a package. I'm going to open it up and we'll get into it. So I'm going to take this from honorable mention. I'm going to name the guy that, I had a hard time not naming him, and then we're going to go from 5 to 1. 1 being my biggest surprise for the 2019 season, and 5 being, hey, not bad. But honorable mention, got to talk about this guy, Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki, for me, the reason why Mike Gesicki is not on the list and for me is honorable mention is he wasn't that big of a surprise. If you guys remember in the offseason, for me, I was like, I have a really good feeling Gesicki's going to take off this year. I have a really good feeling that he's going to have a way better season this year than he did last year, especially with Fitz coming in, all that stuff. So that's the reason he's not on my top list, because some of these names are a little bit more of a surprise. He's 5th in the AFC among tight ends in reception and yards. The man has, I think, 5 touchdowns on the season. Huge jump from 2018 to 2019. So he's my honorable mention. Now, to break it down from number 5 to number 1, here's my number 5. Vince Beagle, the linebacker that we traded for. We traded Kiko Alonso to the Saints, and we took Vince Beagle. And it was immaculate, fantabulous, amazing trade for the Miami Dolphins. Chris Greer absolutely hit that one out of the park and then hit it into another park, and then it bounced off some guys. It was a great trade. Now, I'm going to give you guys stats from last year. I'm going to compare Vince to Kiko. Vince played 15 games for us. Kiko only played 13 games for the Saints. Vince, with the 15 games playing for the Miami Dolphins, he had 1 interception, 2.5 sacks, 26 solo tackles. I'm only counting solo tackles. I think altogether he had about 60 or so combined solo and assist tackles, but 26 tackles on his own and 13 QB hits. Kiko Alonso, in the 13 games he played for the Saints, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks, 25 tackles. So Vince has 1 more and only 2 QB hits. Now, is that because they used Kiko more? Is that because Kiko might have been banged up and not played the full game? But just looking at the stats alone and looking at the play between the two and looking at the play that, Kiko kind of, we made out. We absolutely killed it on the trade. Trading for Kiko for Vince, you guys were probably like, who the hell is this guy? Who the hell is this Vince dude? He's going to come in here and he's not going to do anything. No one knows about him. And Brian Flores does what Brian Flores does, and he makes something out of nothing. He takes these players, puts them in the right position for them to prosper, and they kill it. So my number 5 is Vince. My number 4 is somebody that I honestly wanted off the team when it came to the preseason. I didn't want this man on the team. I thought he sucked. He looked absolutely horrific in the preseason. And that man, by my number 4 spot, is Nick Needham. I honestly, you guys know, you guys watched me in preseason during the live streams. You guys heard me talk about him. I didn't think he'd make the team. I thought he was hot garbage. He kept getting, letting big passes happen. He kept getting burnt. Horrible coverage. It was just, I was like, Nick Needham's got to go. At one point, I was like, keep him in there, keep him in there, keep him in there. I want him to learn by fire, whatever that saying is. But all of a sudden, Xavier Howard goes down. Rashad Jones goes down. Our secondary starts getting banged up. Nick Needham starts to start. All of a sudden, Nick Needham starts to look good. When he went up against T.Y. Hilton and the Colts, you were like, all right, Nick Needham. Nick Needham started to look really good. Nick Needham had a few QB sack, few QB rushes hit. He was playing great coverage. I think his QBR at some games were pretty low. Nick Needham started to show up. Now, that's not me saying Nick Needham's on the par of any of the elite corners or even Xavier Howard, but Nick Needham's really showing that maybe another year under this defense under Brian Flores and Patrick Graham, really, maybe they can make him into something. I'm still getting another corner opposite Xavier Howard. For one, if Xavier Howard cannot stay healthy, I would like to still have that elite corner to take Xavier Howard's spot, and then Nick Needham can step in. But like I said, I wanted him gone in the preseason. I did not want any part of Nick Needham. And he proved me wrong. He showed that, again, under Brian Flores, you could take something and make it great and put people in the right position for them to succeed. Nick Needham proved me wrong, and he is my number 4 spot. Speaking of Brian Flores taking somebody that stunk with another team, somebody who was injury prone with another team, somebody who played one position, and then Brian Flores was like, look, we need help at this other position. Do you want to help the team out? And this person said, you got it, coach. And then when he moved to that position, he actually did really, really well. And that man is Eric Rowe. Eric Rowe came in from the Patriots, and everyone was like, all right, Brian Flores is bringing him from the Patriots. Brian Flores knows him from the Patriots. He's but he has an injury history, and I don't know how I feel about him. That's how I felt. I don't know about how you guys felt. And he proved us wrong. If you guys noticed, there was a few times where people who have injury histories proved us wrong. Eric Rowe was one of them. Played a full season with the Miami Dolphins. Like I said, Rashad Jones went down. Rashad Jones got injured, went to IR. Brian Flores asked Eric Rowe, listen, we need to take you from corner and put you at safety. He said, whatever you need, coach. And look at him. Got a contract extension, playing really well. Had that pick 6, week 17 against the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Following week, there was another pick 6. Titans knocked him out of the game. Might have been the end of the dynasty, but that's another video. Really, really great move by the Miami Dolphins picking up Eric Rowe. Like I said, in the offseason, I was like, can't body. He signed barely any type of contract. It was like a 1-year prove-it contract. I said, can't body. Worst case, if he sucks, he'll be gone. He won't make the team. Him and Nick Needham were like, all right, DouglieDoWrong, we're going to show you. And I am happily wrong that both of these guys stepped up and both of these guys did their thing like a chicken wing. So my number 3 is Eric Rowe. Love what the guy was doing. Love what he's doing. Again, look at his stats. Look at how well he starts playing. Look at the film when he, for the first Buffalo Bills game, came in and played at safety. Did very, very well. My number 2. Now, my number 1 and number 2 were very hard for me to pick, but then when I really sat down and thought about it, I was like, nah, I kind of have a good idea with this. My number 2, now, it's a surprise. He's a surprise. But he shouldn't be that big of a surprise to me. But he kind of was. And that's Ryan Fitzmagic. Now, he's number 2 for me. And I told you guys, the list for me is like who surprised me the most. And I told you guys that the Miami Dolphins, in my eyes, were going in a certain direction and they weren't doing the T word because you bring Ryan Fitzpatrick in, he's going to win you 5 games alone, just off his talent alone. And that's what I thought. And I thought, you know, at some point, you guys even go back and watch some of the videos. I just talked about how he had to put his body into some of his throws. And I'm like, I don't think he's going to make the full season. I predicted he would start the season. I was like, I think he'll make it to about the Redskins game, maybe the Bills game. And then I think Rosen will come in because I think he's up there in age and I think he'll get tired and I don't think he'll make the full season. Or he'll start doing Fitz tragic things and then all of a sudden they'll switch him out. Nope, surprised the crap out of me. Yes, he had some games where he threw some costly interceptions, but some interceptions also were not his fault. O'Leary, Balaj, I can name a few where people just didn't want to catch the ball and they just smacked the ball up in the air and they gets picked off. But he kept getting better. As the season went on, he kept getting better. And then all of a sudden, he's our leading rusher on the team. He would just, we need to win this game. I want to win this game. Screw what the media is saying. Screw what the analysts are saying. I want to win this game. And he would take this team on his back, and he won those 5 games. And you can't even say like, oh, it was the running game, or oh, it was the defense, or oh, no. It was Ryan Fitzpatrick, because he's the leading rusher on the team. He was the leading rusher in some of those 5 games he won. It was him. The man took the Miami Dolphins and said, get on my back. Look at the last game of the season where Walt Aikens got injured and Walt Aikens jumped on his back and they ran into the locker room. Ryan Fitzpatrick is my number 2 surprise of the season. And like I said, I'm not surprised in the fact that we won 5 games with Fitz because I kind of saw that coming. I'm surprised that he lasted the whole season, and I'm surprised he continued to get better as the season went on. Because you guys saw with Tampa Bay, he had the first 3-4 games where he did really well, then he sucked. So it was Jameis Winston Fitz. Jameis was back and forth. But with the Dolphins, he just kept growing. And that's because Brian Flores knows what to do with players. Brian Flores knows what to do with players, puts them in the right position to succeed. I'm going to say it again. I'm so excited. And now you guys want to know. Who's number 1, Doug? Who is your number 1 surprise of the 2019 season? And if you guys don't know, and if you guys can't guess, to my fellas over here during the premiere, I know you guys are filling up the chat because you guys know who number 1 is. It's Devontae Parker. Devontae Bubble Wraps McGee. If you've been with me since 2018, you know what I mean by Bubble Wraps McGee. Parker. The man could not stay healthy in 2018. He had that blowout Texans game where he did really well because Adam Gase was talking about trading him and his agent was talking about how Adam Gase isn't using him right. And then all of a sudden, he was like, all right, let's do this thing like a chicken wing. Devontae Parker, his whole career, even in with the Cards in college, was injury prone with the feet injuries. But 2019, the man was determined. The Dolphins reseeded his 5th-year option, and then they gave him it was a 2-year contract, but it was essentially a 1-year show me what you can do because the second year of his contract was caca. And even this year, they could have cut him before the season started and not have to pay him any money. And he was like, I'll show you what I can do. I'm going to get my head straight. I'm going to get healthy. I'll show you what I can do. And the man killed it this year. Absolutely killed it this year. Now, a lot of people want to say, well, it's because you had Fitzpatrick as his quarterback. His Fitz would just throw it up and he would one-on-one. There's a lot more to playing receiver than just throwing the ball up and hoping on a prayer that you'd get it 50-50 ball. To him, it was more a 75-25 ball, and that man's going to catch it 75, maybe even 80% of the time. He killed it this year. I honestly, when they re-signed him, I'm like, all right, cool. We'll see what he can do. The contract won't hurt. And let's see if he can stay healthy. And he can stay healthy. And look what he was like when he could stay healthy. And that's the other thing about I feel about Xavier Howard. Yes, he's had that injury-prone label on him, but when the man can stay healthy, and if he can stay healthy, he's going to be dangerous. With Devontae Parker, he's 5th in the league, the entire NFL, AFC and NFC, in receiving yards, 1,202 receiving yards. He is tied for 4th in the league in touchdowns with 9 touchdowns. The last game of the season against Stephon Gilmore all season long recorded an average of 6.5 yards given up to the opposing receiver. That Week 17 game against the Miami Dolphins and Devontae Parker, 13.2 yards, an average catch. Devontae Parker was like, Gilmore, I'm your daddy. I'll take you to Chuck E. Cheese, but you gotta do your chores because your mother's gonna get upset. Devontae Parker's number 1. Be sure to comment below, fellas. Let me know what you think. Give me your 5 surprises of 2018. Next is the disappointments. You guys wanted the surprises first. You guys wanted the good news first, and now I'm going to give you the bad news. Next is the disappointments. But comment below. Let me know. Who are your 5s? Do you think Gesicki should have been in there and maybe bumped somebody out? Be sure to comment below. Let me know. And I'm going to get to comment of the day, which essentially is a package. So this package was sent to me from DouglieDoWrong, a.k.a. Rodney. Oh, no way. Rodney, are you kidding me, dude? So if you guys don't know, he has a clothing line for workout gear. So he sent me a bunch of shirts, which is super awesome of him, and I really, really do appreciate that. I'll show you what his shirts look like, and I will, ooh, these feel nice too. I will link them below. This is what the shirts look like. They're stretchy. They got a nice elasticity to them. Feel really nice. This is the shirts. If you want to grab yourself a shirt, I will be sure to link it below. Feels really nice. It says, "Provoke me past my limit." Moose Fit Performance. Feels really nice, really stretchy. But on top of that, so he sent me 3 shirts. One of them, I'm assuming, is for my now fiance, which I thank you for that. He sent me a little post-it that says, "Thanks so much for this. I included a little dolphin stuff." And are you flipping kidding me, Devil Dog? It is a Larry Zonka card. That is so awesome. I don't know if you guys can see it. It might be out of focus now. It's a Larry Zonka card. Thank you so much, DouglieDoWrong, a.k.a. Rodney. I really do appreciate it. If you guys want to grab some of his workout gear, I'll link it below. It's really, really good stuff. Feels really good. It's kind of got that Under Armour feel to it, but it's really, really nice. So be sure to cop yourself some. I'll link it below. But other than that, should I tell? I'm going to tell you guys the answer to the trivia question. It's Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake is the guy who led the team in 2017 in rushing yards. It was Kenyon Drake with 644. That's not a lot. That's bad. But that was the season that everything went wrong. That could have went wrong. But that is who the answer to the trivia question is. But other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm retweeting things as soon as things are breaking out. And I'm noticing something with Twitter real quick is a lot of people were talking about certain guys that are getting signed because we need a defensive back coach, an offensive coordinator, offensive line coach. Nothing is official. So the fact of Chan Gailey was signed or is going to be the Dolphins offensive coordinator is not official. Just so you know, the Dolphins haven't reported on it. Beat writers have talked about it. Sources have said all this stuff. It's not official. So Chan Gailey isn't officially the Miami Dolphins offensive coordinator. A lot could change. But be sure to follow me on Twitter. Also check out the Bit Boys, putting out some great stuff. If there's any games you'd like us to play, be sure to comment below. Other than that, give this video a thumbs up. All 5 and 6 of these players that are the surprises of 2019 did great, will continue to do great, and this has a lot to do with the coaching staff putting them in the right position, putting them in this position to get better, to succeed, and do their thing. Very, very promising for the Miami Dolphins going into 2020, especially when it comes to outside free agents looking at what the Dolphins can do. Very, very promising. Give your video a thumbs up for that. Also because you like the content. Also, check out DolphinsTalk.com. Very great site. I'm on there. TD's on there. Young Mayo's on there. Saba's on there. There's a lot of good guys on there. Beat writers, podcasts. Be sure to check that out. Other than that, hit that subscribe button. If you don't hit the subscribe button, you won't be able to see the disappointments that are coming out Friday. And then this weekend, we got playoff games. I'm not going to be able to live stream the Saturday one. I don't think I'll be able to live stream the Titans-Ravens game. I'm going to be out with my family again, celebrating the engagement. Again, I have 2 sides of the family I got to do it with. But if I'm home and before the game ends, I will live stream it, and I'll try to live stream the Sunday game. But you'll get a recap video Sunday of the whole weekend. But other than that, I will see you guys Friday with the 5 disappointments from the 2019 season. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. DouglieDoWrong, thank you again for the great, great stuff. Fins up.